This one thing, as a male, is stopping you from progressing in your mindset. And it might not be what you think. I was in this mindset once. The mindset of training for how you look. When was it that we got lost in vanity and waking up one day feeling like we have smaller biceps than the day before? And I know it sounds so silly, but how many of you watching this has gone and looked in the mirror or looked at your biceps and thought, oh my gosh, they're not as big as yesterday. I need to go to the gym. I need to train. I need to eat more. The mind. We're not in control when we go down this pathway. It's scary how social media has tricked us, influenced us into a mindset of feeling like we're never good enough. That there is this immense competition that exists out there, and it's just totally fake. If you're watching this, it's time for you to break the vanity cycle. I was in the cycle, 100%. And I can safely say that I'm totally out of it. And it's amazing to experience at how many people, friends, family members, and others who are suffering from not feeling good enough in themselves, for comparing themselves to others, for looking at themselves as not worthy of love or not worthy of themselves. And it's sad, but it's breakable. You see, when we feed these shallow energies, these low frequencies of trying to look like someone else, when are we ever satisfied? Because at the end of the day, is how we look really important? Is trying to look better really important? And what we find is if we actually focus, for example, on our training and not going down the bodybuilding pathway of trying to look good, trying to make our biceps bigger, etc. But we train and we do things for our own purpose of enjoyment because we love whatever we're doing. Then we can find a true sense of happiness, a love for our sport, a love for what we do. The question you have to ask yourself if you're watching this and you're a bodybuilder or you're hitting the gym is, are you training because you love it? Or are you training because you don't want to look a certain way? Because the truth is that no one actually cares. No one cares about how you look. If your biceps are bigger one day or not. What people care about is themselves. And unfortunately, it's the truth of the world. But it's actually enlightening because we can come to the realization that we don't really need to be focusing on these superficial things, these things which are totally shallow. And when you start to realize this, you realize that having deeper, longer term goals, things that are actually meaningful to you as a person, not to your external, not to what people think of you, but for things that you enjoy, truly, deeply, what you love, and not doing something from the external influence of what you've seen on Instagram or any other social media and be influenced by that. You see, when we tap into what makes us happy or brings us joy, we tap into our true self. We find our true self. We find the self of us that we've been neglecting because of our egos, because of our urges to be competitive in this fabricated society and world we live in that's totally artificial. Remember that. It's all artificial. We've created this. And we can look at it in multiple ways. But if we focus too much on perfecting the shallow, we will stay shallow. We will stay, in a sense, on a frequency that is lower than who we actually are, because the ego likes to feed on low frequency energy. It's really important to come to an understanding of why we do something. When we ask these questions of why, we can come to the understanding deep within ourselves of where our suffering is. Because when we know why, we can really understand if that's true to our being, to our soul, of who we actually are as a person and what we want to achieve for the future for ourselves. If we forget about social media, if we forget about Instagram, if we forget about all these things and all these influences, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Doesn't matter how we look. Doesn't matter how we portray ourselves to other people. What matters most is that you're doing what you love and you're finding whatever you do in your everyday life to be benefiting you and the people around you that you love moving forward in your everyday life. Because at the end of the day, if you focus on the shallow things in life, like how you look, you're never going to be satisfied in the end. Because at the end of the day, we're all deep individuals. We all need purpose and a sense of being. So now I really just invite you to take a look at your life and just analyze where you may be chasing shallow things, where you may be doing things not for your true inner self. And whether that be vanity, which is what this video is about, or whether it be something else. But take the time to meditate or reflect on your life and your pathway. And remember that it's never too late, ever, to sit down and just relax and take a break and reassess so that you can move forward and we can move forward with utmost precision and in unison with our beings. So guys, a bit of a different video today, but I really appreciate all of you for tuning in today. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.